Okay, so guys, I was just poking through my Steam library, just checking out the very few games I have on here. Not that many. Ooh, finally, Monster Hunter World's all done. Well, a lot of games, just nothing. Nothing that I have installed as of yet. But then I came across this from Legends, and first off, if you've been waiting for Legends content from me, congratulations! They gave me a reason to come back. I've been waiting for something like this. So announcing the Frostspark collection. The Elder Scrolls Legends, the upcoming story expansion, Isles of Madness, is just around the corner. Gee, no, I'm not going to swear, but it's been around the corner for ages now. You think they would have just. Ugh. This is when they should have announced it, to be honest. But we have just thing to make waiting for Shagora to make his grand entrance a little easier. Yeah, it's certainly taking its sweet time to. He's certainly taking his sweet time to make his grand entrance. I don't remember having to wait this much for him when playing the actual Shivering Isles, which, by the way, now that it's finally coming around, I could finally go ahead and kind of show off what I think might be added in by playing a little bit of the Shivering Isles. Introducing the Frostspark Collection, a promotional set of all new cards coming to the Elder Scrolls Legends. The Frostspark Collection features play sets of 11 unique cards for the price of 1,500 gold or $999. I will be buying that in gold, which means I have to dust off the collection and start playing again. Finally! I have a reason to come back aside from trying to make it to Legend, which I'll be honest has been kind of getting a little old on me. Very happy to grind that gold out. I know I'm at about, I think I'm roughly at 1,000, so 500 to get 500 more. I could do that within a couple of days. These cards are augment a wide variety of deck archetypes and that are sure to be appealing to all kinds of players. Are you a fan of orcs? There's a new recruit that you may enjoy. A control player hoping to draw a handful of cards in the late game, we've got you covered. While the Spark collection supports multiple playstyles, several cards do share a common theme, interest, and unusual gameplay interactions. What do we mean by that? See for yourself with our first card revealed, Piercing Twilight. Want to see more or what's in store for Elder Scrolls Legends? Stay tuned to our official Twitch and Twitch channels for the latest reveals in the Frostbite collection before it launches. Okay. I have a lot to say on this, but let's go ahead and reveal. Well, I'm not sure how much I have to say. We'll find out as soon as I see what this card. Piercing Twilight, 4 mana, 4/4. It's a Daedra. Interesting. I'm really hoping that when we do get the Oblivion expansion, not the Isles of Madness, that's a DLC in Oblivion. I've been saying this for a while, but we are because we had a Skyrim one, we had a Houses of Morrowind, we had a Morrowind type expansion. We're gonna have an Oblivion themed expansion, guaranteed. You can bet your money on it, and I actually would if somebody wants to take me up on that. Probably not, but seriously, nah. Guard, summon, choose a card in your opponent's discard pile, banish it, and all cards from its owner's deck with the same name. That's a card of any type. Ooh, that could be interesting. Would a banish mage become a thing now that this is a card? That's an interesting thought there, because now we have 3 cards in the game that have the keyword of banish, or the effect of banish. And this one actually looks like I would definitely see this having some play. There are some very annoying cards. Uh, the immediate thought that I have to this will be might be played in some aggressive mage decks. And if you say play a Piercing Javelin to remove one of their big creatures, or have an Ice Storm in the Ice Storm inside your grave, and they have to draw this, they've either just cleared one of your hard removals or a very, very effective board clear. This is definitely going to see play. Whether or not if it's going to be good by the time people have figured out how to really effectively use this card, I don't know. I do see this as a nice card to throw into a control deck, as it, to me this feels like you could play it in control and a bit of an aggression style. Why aggression? Well, use this as a counter to control pieces. So I gave a good example. Your opponent plays Piercing Javelin, kills one of your creatures. They have 2 more in the deck. You Piercing Twilight, and you pierce the piercing javelin. God, what have I done? You get rid of the javelin, and well, now they don't have any more. That's 1 less removal. However, it does shrink their deck down by 2 slots, which means they could easily say draw another card. So the effect is good, but like I said, I see it as a double-edged sword. You're getting rid of cards in your opponent's deck, but at the same time, you're going to make it easier for them to draw certain cards later on. Alternatively, if, say, you happen to manage to put a, say, elusive spell schemer or spell scheme, it's been a while since I've touched Legends, but if you happen to silence and put one of those in the grave, you can and then remove it with Piercing Twilight. At 4 health, it does hold up to quite a bit. Sadly not enough to get around Lightning Bolt, but honestly, I don't think you really need to get around Lightning Bolt or have to worry about Lightning Bolt with this. If your opponent chooses to unsummon it, they're hurting themselves unless you happen to pick a card they only have 1 off, which unless you know for a fact your opponent is running, say, Journey to Sovngarde, or if they have an endurance class and you know they're running cards that interact with the grave to bring things back, you don't really want to play this on unique legendaries. Similarly, this card sucks against Singleton, so if people are playing that out there, they don't have to ever worry about losing multiple copies because, well, they've already played the card, and likely they won't have a way to bring it back. So we'll have to wait and see. I got a feeling this is going to be definitely a bet. It's to date the best banish card that, in my opinion, it is. I'd say tied for cast into time in terms of how good it is for banishing. To say it's pretty good. You have cast into time to target things on the board. You have piercing Twilight to target a specific creature in your grave, in your opponent's grave, and you can have the occasional memory wraith in case you run into decks that, let's say, require you to clear the whole grave out instead of just 1 card, because there are some situations that you need to do that. For example, maybe against a Doomcrag warrior, if they have a lot, at some point they might have a lot of Nord Firebrands in the grave, and you could instead of clearing the whole grave, if you know they don't have if they have Journey to Sovngarde, you're kind of done for anyways. But if you know that that's what they're trying to do, you can banish those, and that way they don't have access to the charge. You still got to worry about the other bigger creatures, but if you're playing a control deck and have been using your control pieces wisely, you shouldn't have much of a problem with that. But it's another banish card. I think it's going to be played a little bit more. I could see it more in an aggressive deck as a counter to control decks. Again, not solely just on the ability alone. Doesn't really the guard doesn't care. 4 attack, yeah, it's nice if you can get an attack, but you play the effect, you remove a vital card to your opponent's game, and call it a day from there. But this is exciting. Overall, I'm very excited. You're going to see some more Legends content from me coming soon because of this. And it's probably going to start tomorrow with a bit of a comeback into the game. Very happy that they're doing this. It's been a this has been a long time coming. Interesting to see this so close to another expansion. And again, they're going to come out with this to try to get people to come back to this game. I would think, because if they're players like me that kind of got sick, that got sick of just seeing the new overlay, but sort of enjoyed the game to a point where they more or less got dull with the game. This is going to add a little bit of a spark back, no pun intended, a little bit of spark back into the game before we get Isles of Madness. So hopefully it does that, brings more people back in, and well, yeah. Guess you guys get a 2-for-1 today. That's enough of me ranting on about this. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy.